All right, here we go. So, this is a news story about a man who has a mobility scooter. This is one of the scooters that help you get around if you got, leg issue or some type of walking issue. There's all types of scooters. One where you can put, one leg in it and scoot yourself around. Then, of course, you got the ones you sit down, they're automatic and they get you around. Well, anyway, he has a mobility scooter, but he kind of souped his up because I don't think it came like this, or maybe it did. But he has a souped up scooter, and it pretty much looks like a car. So when he gets on the road, he gets pulled over as if he's a car. But there's a state law that says, if you got a mobility scooter, it doesn't need to be titled or get insurance and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting how this is going to play out. But that's the backstory. So remember, what you're looking at is a mobility scooter. This is what helps people, you know, get around if you have any type of walking issues and stuff like that.
Close to home, when Socket Man says he's afraid to drive his scooter after police had towed it away. They say the vehicle does not belong on the road.
NBC 10's Temi Topa.
So right there, that thing looked like a little car, like a little smart car. But it's a scooter. It's a mobility scooter. It just has four wheels. And like a lot of the ones that do like ride around automatic, they do have four wheels. They just not as big or look like this.
Atalaya shows us his ride and why he says he needs it to get around.
It might look like a car, but it's not.
And there's no pedals. As you can see, there's no pedals on the bottom.
So his mobility scooter has a windshield wiper on it. So like I said, and I know a couple. I have some elderly, and they got mobility scooter. They just electric. You be charging them up, but basically there's a little control on the arm, and it's kind of like just an automatic wheelchair. Really, it's still a mobility scooter to help you out, but it's not something that you need to get the MVA, the Motor Vehicle Administration, involved with.
It's just this is where the throttle is right here. I can put her on for you too.
David Tremblay of Woonsocket says his Q-Runner mobility scooter is not much of an aid these days.
I've been riding around Woonsocket for like 6 months, but now I've been stopped. And the first time they told me I needed a license registration, and I laughed at them because it's a mobility scooter. It goes 18 miles an hour. And then the second time they stopped me.
Now, that's pretty fast for a mobility scooter. Like the people I know got scooters to assist them, they don't go nowhere near 18 miles an hour. 18 miles an hour is like riding a bike real fast downhill. That's pretty much 20 miles. That's pretty fast for a mobility scooter. It's actually like a form of transportation. But even here we would call it an electric scooter in the DMV at least. And you still wouldn't need license and tags because we don't have that set up around here in DC, Maryland, or Virginia. But I'm not sure what state this is. If it's an electric scooter, well, I guess he has to because he got pulled over. So he needs to get license and tag if it's some type of scooter or motor. But by law, and you'll see as we go along, it says that if it's a mobility scooter, you don't need to get the license. But the police pull him over and they look up the state statute for cars. I say, yes, he do need to get a license. So they're kind of like license and registration. They're kind of a real big impasse. But, and like I said, this is the aid in getting around. Now, for one, I don't want to judge him, but he is kind of standing up pretty fine. Most people I know, they can't walk fast at all, or they got a cane or something, so that's why they got the mobility scooters. The same kind you might see in the shopping center, the little electric carts, same thing. And none of those electric carts would go 18 miles an hour, and most they would go 2 miles an hour, maybe 3 if there's a hill in a grocery store, but otherwise they're not going too fast. And here's how big it is. Like most mobility scooters, you can pretty much take them kind of anywhere you go in general. Like if you go in the mall, you go in the store, you can take that in there. You're not taking this big mobility scooter in any type, like you're going to park it outside like it's a car. So for it to be a mobility scooter, he's kind of doing too much because it doesn't make it that mobile. But you'll see his main reason is that it has windows and stuff. So the advantage over most other people's scooters is that it's like a bike or a motorcycle, or open to the elements. And if it rains, you're gonna feel it. If it's snow, you're gonna feel it. But in here, you have the roof. So if it's in the summer, 90 degrees, I believe he said he has air conditioning in there. And then of course, if it's in the winter and it's snowing outside, he's not gonna get snowed on. If it's raining, it's not gonna be wet. And if it's cold, he could turn on the heating system.
They towed my vehicle.
Tremblay says the $8,000 mobility scooter he uses to get around is going to start costing him in fines if he
Cost
drives.
$8 grand.
I have a bad back, a ruptured herniated disc in my back. I am disabled. I'm on SSI.
The Woonsocket police chief said today that the scooter is not able to be operated on the roads. Chief Thomas Oates said Tremblay was given verified documents and the appropriate warnings and violations and stands by his department's decisions. Oates said the vehicle is not considered a low-speed vehicle according to the enforcement section of the DMV, meaning a license and registration is not required for it, but says a license and registration is required for any vehicle on the roads.
Bought it, it said mobility scooter. You don't need a registration or a license.
According to the Rhode Island mobility law,
And then, of course, if you have a mobility scooter, you're not going to have them on the road. You'll have them on the sidewalk or at least to the side, but you're not going to be in the road with traffic. So it looked like he has a radio in there. So that's a little tricky, him being out on the road with it, because mobility scooters, I don't know of them to enable you to ride on the highway. Well, not the highway, but like a residential road, local road, something like
the
that.
scooter does not require a license or registration because it is a mobility aid. We reached out to the Department of Motor Vehicle for clarity. They are looking into the matter.
I bought this because you want it year round, so you can stay warm in the winter and stay cool in the summer. You can't do that with the other ones, but now I got to send it back and get one that's not open. It looks like a mobility scooter, because this one don't look like a mobility scooter, you know what I mean? But it is. It don't make sense.
Tremblay says he is looking for support and clarity on the matter as he
Headlights,
figures out
bumpers,
his next steps.
turn
In
signals.
Woonsocket, Tammy Talk by Adelia, NBC 10 News.
Well, that's pretty much it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this.